Faithful, what is good, yo? I apologize if you guys hear anything in the background. My neighbors decided to just go wild since it's Friday. Go wild! Go stupid! Go crazy! Ah! But with all that being said, I definitely was not expecting to get this episode of DateALive being so strange and completely throwing me for loops multiple times. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up my phone with some pictures. Okay, so to begin with, we start as if, nothing practically happened. Everything is been fixed because because our boy Shido has gone in and saved the parents, and supposedly that should have been enough, right? But of course it's not. When is that ever it? It's never just it. And so we get to find out that as soon as he saves this girl, and for some reason, since we're already dealing with very powerful spirits and people capable of doing ridiculously, overpowered things already, it kind of came to this weird conclusion that as soon as the girl who sent him into time and stuff, she already knew. Like, she was already a part of all the time switching and stuff like that. So it was pretty obvious to her that whatever had happened after sending him back in time, that it's all been altered. And so she remembers the original world that was how it was supposed to be and this new one. And that's when you really know some crazy stuff can be possible. And I like that aspect of the show because they don't really shy away from, necessarily giving us all the information that we need. And I feel like if they really wanted to, they could have explained a lot more, but leaving it vague, I think was really smart because now we're gonna get a much better arc for origami than I necessarily thought we would, because I thought it was gonna be practically over and he just has to, explain a little bit of so and so what happened and why he did what he did, and it would have been done and over in a hurry. But seemingly that's not the case. We are getting um, a new side of just what has occurred from him saving the parents. And apparently, no pun intended there, apparently, they die like a year later in a car accident, which for some reason, when Origami sees the girl who can send people in time, through time and back in time and stuff like that, she recognizes her to an extent to lose like all control. But at the same time, it didn't really make sense why she did, but I guess in the full scheme of things, she just knew she was a spirit. Like, it was just like one of those instances of just knowing what you're getting yourself into, I guess. And by seeing that she was a spirit, it was already a red flag, and her body just automatically reacted. Not to mention, she even joined up on the team of like people who fight spirits and stuff. So regardless of changing everything he went out to set out to change, practically everything still went in the direction that it's always happened. And the only thing that had changed is she got to spend an extra year with her parents. So it's really looking like he's going to have to just go back and actually let them die. Or, I mean, uh, it's getting really dark, guys. Like, this is why time traveling in certain like aspects usually doesn't get touched upon, because of stuff like this. You can't sometimes have everybody being happy. And I mean, sure you can, because you're if you're an author, you can write whatever the heck you really want. I mean, you can make whatever plot hole to save both sides of the story, however, but when you see stuff like this where he saves the girl's parents, but at the same time they just go and die a year later, like as if dying is the uh, life that they're given. And not to mention, if they are dying like this, and I mean, they died from like that huge attack from the spirit, and I'm guessing they probably didn't go like, oh, those parents, yeah, they were killed off by a spirit, like, I bet the government said what the government would say in that situation is, oh yeah, uh, some incident happened and she was completely, they were obliterated, like they were caught in fire in the accident of whatever had occurred that they can make up. Look like a meteor hit the place, but they're just gonna say some type of fire was caused. That's just the government. They don't really care to let the people know what's going on, and it makes a lot of sense that they call it a car accident. But really, it seems like the girl who messes with time seemingly has something to do with it. Because in my opinion, you don't just go completely ridiculously berserk out of nowhere and lose like all of your senses and just continuously fight. Um, but that's just me. I mean, there's it seemed like there's some type of history between them, and we just don't know, or maybe her body recognizes the girl who sends people in time, but not her actual physical, like non-spiritual form remembers. It's like a unconscious attacking of a spirit. So I thought it was pretty cool. But not to mention that we're seeing just the outcome that has happened to her spiritual power, where everything she was doing was like a light attack, and now everything she's doing is literally like she's even calling her move Satan. So now I was kind of interested into looking at what she was calling her moves before, just because of the change. I mean, if she was calling them Satan, now, maybe her old moves were some type of heavenly goddess or something like that, or just a heavenly person in general. So that's the type of stuff that this show is really good at, just slowly but surely putting out there without really needing to explain it. You kind of just get what you get, and I like those types of storytelling because they don't they don't really warrant you any any explanation, unless you kind of like, if you know what Satan is, you kind of understand where they're going with that spiritual power. Like, it's just pure evil that she thinks that she's using, or after seeing what she saw and becoming what she becomes, that's all she feels like her moves are. It's just the moves of the devil. Um, and it's a very interesting concept to think about. And the thing I want to know is where she's actually gonna head with all of this power. I mean, sure, Shido could probably seal it away with a kiss and stuff, but she seemingly doesn't even know what's happening either. So it's a very interesting situation. And they kept talking about inverse, and when they were saying that, I imagined that they were talking about the girl. So he changes all the time, right? But the girl who we're seeing Orihime or Origami turn into is the woman that is from the original time that he tried to fix. And because it's that's why she remembers the girl who changes time, and that's also why she just went out of instant reaction to attack, because knowing of that she's just a spirit in general, and that's the people she's still trying to take out. I kind of had a feeling that the girl, the girl who changes time, might have been the one to do that to her parents. Like, actually be the reason why the car accident, quote unquote, happened. I'm not, I'm just guessing by the way she like reacted to it all, you know. So that would just be my first impression of why someone would hate another person so much or just have a grudge in general. So, overall though, we really are in the dark, and that's what this show loves to do sometimes. They just won't give us any types of real answers. Um, Seeing Shido pretty much living out his life that he had, in the present time, in the present world, but now all of a sudden he's, uh, you know, some things have changed with the even small details with the girls, and I think that was the other thing. Something said was there was like it was like this was an illusion or something, like this isn't even real, kind of. So if this is not even real, and he's kind of like stuck between timelines that are trying to fix themselves or timelines that are trying to figure out which one is the right one, and then one timeline will be erased or something. Um, I think it's just kind of drawing us back to the fact that he should change everything back to the way it was, um, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I don't necessarily think he will, on his own like reasoning. I think the girl who changes time is going to be like, well, everything doesn't seem too peachy here. And to imagine that she quote unquote got like pretty beaten up, you know, like she got lasers, she got Satan beams shot to her. So she technically was like dead this week, which I really hope isn't the case. But for some reason, she got like this music that came on, and I don't know when it like. Oh, it started when Shido wakes up and he was like laying on her lap, and she gets this music that just it's in all the animes, and it's always for like the very hot girl or the girl that is willing to go much further than most other girls and stuff like that. It's just like ow, ow. Like it's really nice and relaxing. And as soon as it started to happen, I was like, "Who is it? Who's it gonna be?" And then of course it was her in her uniform when she was in the past, just to pretty much, I think, mess with Shido, and make him think that maybe she didn't like. And I think that's what I was talking about. The inverse thing is she inversed with her old self that was in that timeline already. So not only is she the same person, but now her, counterpart that was back there that she met that didn't even know Shido actually has all of the experience and all of the same things that she experienced back in the present world. She has all that too. So it's a very cool thing, but they're definitely doing way better than a lot of other people have done with time travel. Like, a lot of people would have missed a lot of those details, and I got to give the show credit where credit is due. Like, they're knocking it out of the park, and I really like it. So to think that we're gonna be getting, only like two more episodes really does suck. Like, I really don't want to see season finale anytime soon, but we got to sooner or later, and that's just how things are, man. But overall, amazing, amazing episode. We see our time traveling girl pretty much get bodied, and, you know, supposedly, but I don't believe. I think she did that so by looking like she died, it would deactivate quote unquote Satan powers. And by doing that now, at least he can, make have some conversation with her, pick her mind a little bit, and then maybe when he gets away from her, they can actually have a conversation where she's not just gonna walk onto the roof and notice them talking and lose her freaking mind. But yeah, overall, guys, this show is about to blow up, and I can feel it. I can feel it. Something ridiculous is about to happen where he's gonna have to make the choice of straight up bringing her back to a world that she's lost her parents even sooner than she has, or by trying to fix all of this stuff, this world might not even exist, this timeline might not exist anymore, and we would be seeing quite the dramatic change in certain characters overall. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing night, evening, whatever the case it is when you're watching this. I am the Anime G, and I will be dropping one more video today, so if you aren't already subscribed, what are you doing? Make sure you hit that subscribe button and have the notification bell ring-a-ding-dinged on so you get instantly notified when I drop my next video. So thank you guys so much for the support. I will definitely talk to the OGs in the next one. So with that, peace.